Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle.
Yes, sir.
I want to say new segment, but I don't think it is, because I think this will only happen one time. But today, we are going to have Merlins in History. All right. So,
okay. Wow.
Merlins. What am I talking about? Am I talking about the legendary figure, best known as an enchanter or wizard, featured in Arthurian legends?
Higatus Figatus?
Yeah. If you're a fan of medieval Welsh poetry, then yes. Or
who isn't?
Or am I talking about the handheld electronic game first made by Parker Brothers in 1978?
Oh, I had one of those. It was like a big red cell phone.
Invented oh my God, the look of it, the whole thing was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you know it was invented by a former NASA employee?
I did not.
Bob Doyle, his wife Holly, and brother-in-law Wendell Thomas. Not only was it one of the first popular handheld games, selling over 5 million units, it's remained popular and was re-released in 2004 by the Milton Bradley Company.
Wow.
Now,
I didn't know Merlin had a second life.
See?
But I guess that's on brand.
And speaking of Merlins, am I talking about Merlin Olsen? No relation, because he's got
no
an
relation.
E. It's an E-N instead of no N. The former NFL player turned actor from such shows as Little House on the Prairie and Father Murphy.
That's right.
Rest in peace, by the way. I love Merlin Olsen.
Oh,
he was
I
awesome.
Too.
They brought him in. Do you know what his story is? I think they brought him in a Little House on the Prairie when Victor French decided to leave.
Okay.
And then he was supposed to be the good counterpart to Charles Ingalls, Michael Landon's character. Yeah. Merlin Olsen was awesome. Just great. It just seemed like such a great guy. Or am I talking about the Rolls-Royce Merlin?
Oh.
Which is a British liquid-cooled V12 piston airplane engine, one of the most successful aircraft engines of all time. In fact, almost 50 different versions of it were built by Rolls-Royce. One of those was the Packard V1650 Merlin, produced under license in the United States by the Packard Motor Car Company. And if you say to yourself, I've never heard of that engine, but I guarantee you've heard of the airplane that became of it, the North American P-51 Mustang.
Oh, yes.
So the P-51s had Merlin engines in them from Rolls-Royce. We've mentioned Rolls-Royce in our previous minute. Or am I talking about the family of rocket engines developed by SpaceX for use on its Falcon 1, Falcon 9, and Falcon heavy launch vehicles, the Merlin rocket engines?
Wait, can I play too?
Sure.
Or are you talking about The Misadventures of Merlin Jones from 1964, starring Tommy Kirk and Annette Funicello, currently streaming on Disney+.
No, I don't know
so
what to say.
Many Merlins.
That's anybody who thinks that we have odd plugs for Disney Plus. That just continued the conspiracy that is out there.
Well, I can tell you, having watched that movie, it is worth the price of you already are paid for in the streaming.
That's true.
Several movies I would send you to like, maybe you should buy that and support the filmmakers. Other ones, it's good that they're on a streaming service.
They're just there. Exactly. All right, Merlins. Why do I bring this up? Why would I bring something up that is mentioned within the first 4 seconds of this minute? Because as you're about to find out, the rest of the minute is questionable.
Yeah, there ain't a whole lot going on, and what there is a little uncomfortable. So here we are at minute 28 of Iron Man 2 from 2010, director Mr. Jon Favreau, and we are still within my least favorite minutes of this whole movie. These have been a real chore to get through. I'm glad I have you with me, Rob, because if I had to do these things solo.
I still love it.
So the first thing we got, the Merlin engines come up because as we have our Elon Musk cameo continuing, we have then Tony joins the conversation and shakes Elon's hands and says that those Merlin engines are fantastic. And so just like Rob talked about in the opening, the SpaceX Merlins are a family of rocket engines developed by SpaceX for the Falcon launch vehicles. So they used RP1 and liquid oxygen as rocket propellants in a gas generator power cycle. I hope you science nerds know what that means, because I don't. I just copied it from Wikipedia.
They're really cool and super reusable.
There you go.
So that
super cool reusable.
Yeah.
So endorsed by no,
Exactly.
no. They don't need us for any of this. So as they're moving, like the conversation then picks up where it left off. So we've let's move past the cameo and get back into the actual.
Oh, he does say. Oh, the one thing though that Elon Musk does say in response to that is good idea for an electric jet, which is interesting.
He has a good idea for an electric jet. Yeah.
So there's a whole little bit of a thing, which I don't know if that leads into anything else later on down the road, but anyway,
no.
One
of the many dead plot lines of
I don't know
phase 1.
Maybe
phase 1 is littered with dead plot lines, and this is just another one of them.
All right.
So then they pick up where they left off, which is Tony and Pepper are still bickering. So if you remember where we left off before the obligatory cameo, they were having a problem with the fact that Natalie was hired as Tony's assistant, despite the fact that Pepper did not want it to happen. Drama. This is very soap opera here. So it really has bothered Pepper, and so Tony says, "I didn't mean to spring this on you," which he did.
Of course he did.
Lie.
No.
And then he says, "Green is not your color." Oh,
see,
really? Tony, you're just going to flip this around on her and be like, "Oh, you're jealous."
But that's his whole plan. This goes all the way back. It's all a tapestry.
And you think it's going to oh man, this is going to be another minute of just them arguing, but
Saved.
No.
Saved. Hey!
Oh, thank goodness. Enter the best character in the movie. Justin Hammer has returned, and it's okay. Like, Jon Favreau is not known as an incredibly visual filmmaker. I think he should be. I think people should talk about him more that way. But the way this is set up, the angle of this, the two of them talking, that Sam Rockwell then just like pops into frame, like in the crowd, like, and this happy expression on his face, like he's like, "Oh boy, I just saw my best friend Tony," and he just like pops out, like, there he is, and like I was like, "Oh, Anthony," and like that's the thing that like raises the hairs on the back of Tony's neck, like, oh no.
Well, it's anybody who's had this incident. I mean, some of us have been this person too, I'll admit. Like, you know, you're at the bar, they're all at a bar, right?
Yeah.
And it's a shot looking down at the bar, just kind of like weird aperture and stuff where you can see Tony and Pepper in the front. And the guy you don't want to see just slides out of his position at the bar and does it so outrageously that, I mean, literally he's nowhere. And then there he is. It's comical because you people have felt that. You've felt that happen before. And he does what this whole minute is, and this whole few minutes here of Justin Hammer, he's trying too hard.
Yes.
And it starts off.
It either does not pick up on the social cues or just doesn't care and just steamrolls past.
No, he doesn't care because that's not his world. His universe isn't that. There's no situational awareness. Justin Hammer has no situational awareness of the people around him. Yeah,
he's not so good with the people skills.
No, he's not.
So Tony says, "Oh, it's my least favorite person on earth, Justin Hammer."
It's not even, he says it just out loud. It's the thing he's thinking. It actually comes out of his mouth.
This is what I love about this, that him just saying that implies this amazing history,
right?
Like that this has been an ongoing problem with him,
right?
You know, for a decade, whatever it is, you know, like always right at his heels, and all these, you know, rich people parties, like all these, like they have crossed paths so many times. Because think about that, everyone that Tony Stark has met in his life, including people who have tried to kill him, and Justin Hammer is his least favorite person on earth. I love that. And so once again, Justin not picking up on any cues, just pushes ahead. And I love this line here too. He says, "You're not the only rich guy here with a fancy car." Just like, look, he's like, but at the same time, he's not wrong.
Right.
Like, you are surrounded by millionaires, all of us with cars. Like, you're not special here. I mean, like, he does it as sort of like it's you and me, buddy. Like, we're the same here. But it's also like a dig too, because it's like, you're not special here.
Well, and it's also foreshadowing that, oh, he's about to do something different than those other rich guys.
That's right.
So it's everything wrapped up in that of just, we're all the same, but at the same time, no, you're not.
So but Justin Hammer is not there alone.
Oh.
He introduces his, well, I won't say date, but let's say companion.
No,
he
his
says,
interviewer is.
Yeah, that's right. You know Christine Eberhardt from Vanity Fair. And hey, look, Christine Eberhardt is back. We thought she just had a cameo at the start of the movie, but no, she's back. It's Leslie Bibb from the first Iron Man movie. Woo! And why is she back in this movie? Because Sam Rockwell and Leslie Bibb are a couple and have been for a long time. And as of time of recording, are still together.
Oh, I didn't.
Yes,
wow.
They have been together more than 10 years. They are not married. I don't think they have any intention of doing it, but they are a very happy couple. So much so that when Quibi, Andy and Pete just went, oh God, he's bringing Quibi into the Marvel Movie Minute. That's right. When Quibi decided to do their, I'll just do the deep dives because you guys might not know this. So Quibi decided to do something fun and interesting. And by the time you hear this, Quibi might not be a thing anymore.
There might be no Quibi.
There might be a Quibi. But Quibi actually did something pretty freaking cool. They talked to the people who were in lockdown, and Jason Reitman organized this idea. Hey, what if we did a shot-for-shot remake of The Princess Bride with everybody still in their homes? So he actually got people to go together and shoot scenes of the exact lines, just using whatever they had around their house. And then they did it in 5-minute segments, and so each person got 5 minutes, and so they sometimes did not even know who they were doing the scene with or anything. But they actually it's a delight. If you can get a free free trial for Quibi, I highly suggest it because it is a good time. And one of the scenes is between Wesley and Buttercup, and it's done by Sam Rockwell and Leslie Bibb. They dress up in costumes and they do the whole scene together. And so it's at their house where they have together. So that, like I say, as I'm recording, they are still together, still a happy couple. And it was really cool that they got the two of them to do this sort of, fun little scene together in this one.
Very funny. Now, as you see them come up, he introduces her. It's really funny. Pepper's reaction is kind of just like, oh, God, I hate everything about this.
Yeah. And I hate everything about this too.
Because it does get... Anyway, go ahead.
So, but like I say, this is actually really nice of Justin Hammer because Justin Hammer doesn't turn it all about himself. Like Tony is all about Tony, but Justin is not always all about Justin. He says, by the way, big story, the new CEO of Stark Industries, and he points to Pepper. Congratulations. Like he goes out like this. That is a big deal, and it's a big change for them. And he makes a mention of it. So kudos to Justin Hammer for being kind of cool about it.
Well,
but it's a nice thing to do.
It is a nice thing to do until he says, hey, in case you're wondering why she's here, she's doing a big spread on me, so I thought I'd throw her a bone.
Well, eventually he's going to bring it back around.
And then, of course, anyway, yes.
So then Christine says, my editor will kill me if I don't grab a quote for our Powerful Women issue, which is sort of like, is there a Powerful Women issue, or did you just make that up because you have an opportunity here?
You're ad-libbing. You're clearly...
Yeah, exactly. Like, our Women of Power. No, Powerful Women issue. That's the thing that totally exists.
Sure. It's Vanity Fair. I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? You're right. Then Justin says she's actually doing a big spread on me for Vanity Fair. And then Pepper says, oh, she did quite a spread on Tony last year.
Now listen. Go ahead. Finish it.
And she wrote a story as well, says Tony. Because slut shaming. It's super funny.
Okay.
I honestly, we talked about, and I'm not going to belabor this point.
I know.
Move on, but I don't get this. I don't understand why Pepper has such a problem with it. Tony is a man whore. Like, Tony has slept with countless women, and from my understanding, for the last thing, Pepper has escorted many of them out of the premises and into a cab and off on their way. Why is she having such a problem with this? Tony was just as much a participant in that particular event that happened like a year ago in continuity time, if not 6-8 months ago. They were in May,
right?
The conference happened. Yeah, so I'm losing my timeline now. But basically, listen, like it was last year chronologically. Because we've gone over Christmas, but it's been about 6 months or whatever.
Right.
Why is she still on about this?
Because I still believe, one, yes, there is an attraction between these two characters, and she wants him to be more. She wants she hopes is on the idea that she wants him to be more. Now, is it appropriate? I will say, is it appropriate for her in that sort of sexual angst warfare that is going on between the two of them? It is appropriate for her to slut shame Christine Everhart? No, it's not. It's in fact, it's horrible. She's standing right there. I mean, that's ridiculous. And Tony to return it with the part where he's basically like, "Oh yeah," and did an interview. I mean, that's not great. However, when people are in this situation, Pepper's frustrated because she already knows that she's already just been thrown like 5 curveballs in the last 10 minutes. People say and do stupid things when they're frustrated. Does that defend this?
I guess so. But I say Pepper's last line on this one actually sums up my feelings too, which she says, "I'm gonna go wash."
No.
But okay, so that's all terrible, and I hate it. But the best part about that is Justin Hammer didn't know. So the next time you watch the scene, don't watch them. Watch Sam Rockwell playing Justin Hammer slowly getting it, because it is a piece of comic genius. As you watch him, as he slowly like hears all them and goes, "Oh," like it's all just acting, just silent. It's like, but it's just like you just see the slow revelation of like what they just said sink in. He went, oh, because then Pepper and Christine then walk off to have their micro interview or whatever, leaving Justin and Tony alone, which is exactly the opposite of what Tony wants.
Okay, here's what really does sell it really well is you can see. So as Tony says that whole Pepper and Tony thing, it pivots then to Justin and Christine.
It's a big shot.
So it's 2 and 2, right?
Yeah.
When he looks at, he's saying that, and that whole part that you're saying is he processes it. He's processing it. He takes such a hard swallow that you can see the muscles inflex in his cheeks to where he's like because he's swallowing while he's gritting his teeth. That's why that happens. And then he immediately does
try to keep the smile on.
He does a microsecond 180-degree flip of his face right back to her without any motion. There's no bobbling or anything. It's just whoosh. Wait. What?
Yeah. And I gotta say, I go back to Buster Keaton, who said the audience loves a slow learner, and this is the same thing here, where like you watch him in real time, suddenly understand and go, oh.
But the best part of it is, and I mean, see, I kind of like this look. Is it dirty and slimy? Yes, this whole conversation is not great. Mm-hmm. However, it's between adults who there's a whole bunch of conflicting emotions going on here, right? And there's a whole bunch of needs. You have Pepper with all the stuff we've talked about. You have Tony going through again. Don't forget, he's going through a crazy moment of his life where he's living on the edge. You got Justin, who's got huge self-esteem issues and huge issues of just self-permanence. Like, what am I doing here? But then the best is, after Pepper and Tony have basically shamed her to her face, right, in front of Justin, Justin does the whole thing where he gets it, turns and looks at her. Christine's face? Razor-locked eyes on the two of them. I don't even know whether or not she's looking at Tony or Pepper. It's actually unclear, but Justin doesn't exist.
Yeah.
In this whole moment, we've talked about this in previous.
She's as a smart, ambitious reporter, which we know she is. She has found a bigger fish.
Right. Well, no, and also to her,
the story is not as interesting as a conversation with Tony Stark. That would boost her profile immeasurably.
Well, and also there's something to be said is the insults don't matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The insults are
irrelevant.
Nice
too. She doesn't. They don't have like the.
I just her because her mission here is, again, we've talked about this issue before in a previous minute. Her mission is to get a quote.
Yeah. Right. Like,
I don't care what
say
you say.
Whatever you want. Throw whatever you want at me. Disparage me as much as you want. As long as as long as I can still put, my pen to paper, none of it matters.
See, no, I mean, dude, look at this. Minute's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's acting. It's character development.
Yeah.
Let's also, what?
Our job is to find the pearls amongst the sand.
Hey, well, here's something else I want to say.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of the extras in this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got to tell you this. This is a tight space, lots of extras.
Yep.
They all do a fantastic job. Like they all do a great job of selling the moment in the scene, and it's all fluid and it's exactly normal and natural and what you would expect in this moment.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know much about movie making, when you have a scene like this, all the extras are around, their job is act like nothing interesting is going on, that like whatever you're doing is the only thing, and do it all silently. So everyone in that room has to be having a conversation and drinking and laughing and eating hors d'oeuvres and mingling completely silently because they have to capture the audio from the actors and they can't have any background sound. So
and then they add the
it is actually a
right.
really hard thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
And so good extras are hard to find, as any wrangler will tell you. And so, yeah, I agree. These people are doing a fantastic job of like getting to dress up in really fancy clothes and be at a fancy party. And Robert Downey Jr. was there.
Gwyneth Paltrow, like Sam Rockwell.
And you got to be cool. That's the other thing. You have to be cool around famous people.
Right.
And you have to be able to stand in there and for hours and hours on end, not eating or drinking anything.
Right.
Because it is a hard job.
Yes.
So shout out to all extras out there and anyone who's ever done the job, because it is not easy. And if you're doing your job best, if you're the best extra in the world, no one will ever notice you.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So shout out to all of them.
Kudos.
So as the minute comes to an end, we have the ladies walk away, and Justin goes over and throws his arm around Tony and says, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
Anthony. Because we forgot you mentioned they started off with Anthony again.
Yeah. And that is where minute 28 comes to an end.
He looks good though. I got to tell you something.
Not many
guys could pull off the manila envelope colored taupe, whatever that is. I don't know. Is that? It's a 3-piece suit.
Right. Go costume designers.
No,
they really found a
way. Tell you,
they need to make him, because they're both middle. I mean, like about same aged white actors,
right?
And they had to find a way to visually make them very, very different from each other. And so, like, Justin's always in really light, like very well tailored, usually 3-piece suits,
right? Well
tailored, and yeah.
Well, and I think that's interesting to note that because you really see it here, because again, it's this light tan sort of color suit, always in the 3-piece suits, which some people would say is a little ostentatious, kind of what the character's trying to be. But impeccably tailored. I mean, he looks sharp. It's a guy that you feel bad for his over trying, but it's all right. I still like him.
So, Rob, are you on the gram?
I am. Oh wait, we're talking about Instagram.
We are talking about Instagram.
I blurted out there. I bleeped out there for a moment. Never mind. I'm cognizant. Go ahead. No, yes, I occasionally do check out Instagram.
Well, next time you're on your Instagram account, you should follow The Next Reel, because we're having all sorts of great content being posted up there. We're having micro reviews of some of our favorite movies from all of our contributors, including you and I. We'll have Marvel Movie Minute info, and we're all doing it in a cool visual style, which we've been working very hard to establish.
Exactly.
So check it out. We're this is one of our favorite social media things, and we're having a good time over there. So at The Next Reel, follow us, and we'll follow you back. Maybe I don't know how that works.
You follow us, and you'll be visually tantalized.
There you go. Guaranteed visual tantalization, says Rob of the Marvel Movie Minute.
Okay, I mean no guarantee. I just suggest
it's already sealed.
Okay, guaranteed.
So make sure you join us back here for minute 29 as Hammer Time continues. Enough said.
Bye.